Okay, let's brush. Hi. Can I brush? Can you let mommy do it?
No.
No? You're messing it up. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here for Adeline's 18-month update. We haven't done an update on her since she was 1, and so I'm excited to tell you guys everything that's been going on with her for the past 6 months. And if you are familiar with these updates, the girls, every time I've done these updates, I just do it up in the playroom or in their room so that they can come in and out of the frame as they please, because it's impossible to get an 18-month-old to just sit here and film with me. So she's in the playroom right next to me, and I am sitting on my love sack because I am, what am I, 7 months pregnant? Yeah, I think I'm 7 months pregnant at this point. I am gonna be 32 weeks on Saturday, so I'm tired, so I need to be in the most comfortable seat that I can for this video. So I put notes in my phone. I always put notes in my phone for pregnancy updates and for the girls' updates so that I don't forget anything. So I'm gonna pull up Adeline's list right here. You guys saw our video. Okay, screaming is a new thing that she is like, loves screaming. Loves screaming at the top of her lungs in public. She's like a screamer. You're a screamer. What? Juice? That's water. Yeah, that's water.
No.
Oh, ow. Ow. She loves saying no too. Oh, I love you. Don't hit, don't hit. Speaking of hitting, we are in the hitting phase. Hitting, scratching, biting, kicking, we're in that phase right now. And Skyla went through it too, and it passed. Ow, hey, no! Don't bite me. Okay, go get it. Hey, go get it. Go get it. Skyla went through that phase too, and if you have an 18-month-old and they're doing that, most of the time they will pass through that phase. But we're in that right now. She hits and scratches Skyla, my older daughter who's 3.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Where are you going? A lot, and Skyla had a couple weeks ago, she had really bad scratches on her face from Adeline, and when she was in the biting phase, she would bite Skyla's cheeks, and it was really bad. The biting is getting better, but the scratching is still there. When she doesn't get what she wants, she kind of grabs at your face and just digs her nails into your skin. Yeah, baby. She's really into babies right now. Both of the girls love dressing babies, changing them, rocking them, putting them in little beds. My mother-in-law makes, she like makes their dolls blankets and pillows. It's so cute. Baby. But speaking of toys that they like to play with, these magnetic blocks, they're called mag blocks, and I know that a lot of people have DM'd me and said that these can be dangerous because kids can pull them apart and get to the little tiny magnets inside. But these toys keep the girls entertained forever. This toy keeps Adeline entertained longer than any other toy that we have. And, ooh, this is leaking. Her water just leaked all over me. There are these little magnet pieces, and you can make like little shapes with them, but they do have little tiny magnets inside. And so apparently the kids can break them open and it can be really dangerous. So if you do get magnet toys like this, you should, like, it's something to be aware of. Make sure you look up articles on it and make sure that while they're playing with it, you're in the same room as them. Because like I would never leave that in one of their rooms or anything like that, after hearing the stories that people were sending me about the magnets. But she loves that toy. I think it's her favorite toy right now. I wrote down in my notes that she started walking at 14 months, which is different than Skyla taking her steps around 10 to 11 months. Our pediatrician said that when babies are a little bit heavier, that I could take them longer to walk because they have more weight to carry. And that was probably the case with Adeline, but she started walking at 14 months. She actually turned 18 months on last month on the 29th. So she's about to be 19 months here in about a week or so. She started talking around, well, talking, but saying words around 17 months. Talking. Oh, don't take my phone. Don't take my phone. Oh, I know, but Mommy has to read it.
No.
Yes, I do. She started saying little words and like phrases at around 7. What?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You're sorry? That's one of the things she says sometimes. She'll be like, sorry, sorry. About a month ago, and it's just kind of like taken off. It was like one day she started repeating me, and now she doesn't stop. What is your favorite color?
Green.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
Can you say red?
Owie.
Say red.
Owie.
Owie. Can you say pink?
Owie.
Say pink.
Owie.
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 Say pink.
Kaha.
This is also the stage where they're super clumsy and everything is dangerous because they climb on everything and they can get hurt really bad. She tries to climb up on high chairs and chairs in the dining room, and anything that she can climb on, she will climb on and hopefully not fall off. But she has taken a couple tumbles, and it's scary because I remember at this age with Skyla, she wanted to like run and jump across the couch, and I was always so terrified that she was gonna fall up and like hit her head or something like that. But I constantly have to turn chairs over so that she can't climb up on like the table in our kitchen. I have to lay the high chairs on their side so that because they're kind of like ladders, so that she can't climb, because if I leave them upright, she'll use them as a ladder to get onto the table. I don't know why they love that so much, but 18 months is like the prime time for like, it's like the danger zone age. And this is also the age where Skyla like would run away from me, and Adeline's doing that too. Up until now, like if we were at a restaurant, she wanted to get out of her high chair and I would just set her down, she would stay right there next to us, maybe walk, you know, back and forth between me and Nick at the table or who else is at the table. But now if you set her down, will just take off, like completely take off across the restaurant or wherever we're at. So it's hard right now, especially with me being pregnant, because if I can't just set her down anywhere. She either has to be in the stroller or me holding her, and right now it's a lot to hold her. She's 28 pounds. So with my belly and the Texas heat, carrying her around gets to be really overwhelming. So I've been pushing her in a stroller, even to do like minor things. Depending on the day, I'll even push her in the stroller to take Skyla inside to school. You probably noticed that we got her ears pierced. I would say it was about a month ago. I got her ears pierced because Skyla has been asking me over and over for her ears to be pierced. So I took Skyla to try and get her ears pierced, and she decided like last minute, like no, she didn't want to do it because she was scared, because Skyla has had chronic ear infections and all sorts of ear issues. She's on her second set of tubes. So having anybody mess with her ears is just a complete no-go for her. So I was like, Adeline, do you want to get your ears pierced? Obviously she has no idea like what getting your ears pierced means, but I figured that since Skyla talks about it, I'm not kidding you guys, almost every single day she asks me for earrings and to get her ears pierced. And so I figured that since Adeline is still at this age where she doesn't really like understand, I thought that it would just be better to do it now before she develops a fear of it, and then she'll be able to wear the earrings down the road, and there won't be that like, I want to get them pierced but I'm too scared to get them pierced situation. So I just went ahead and got them done, and she did not even cry. She, for like 1 minute, she was like, and then it was over. We had a lollipop for her, and that was it. They healed up right away. I had a solution to put on them, and they healed. I mean, we didn't have any issues with infections or anything like that. I had no issues with her trying to rip them out. I know some babies will try to rip them out, which is scary. So really there was no complications. The only thing that I was thinking about after we got them done is, you know, when you go to sleep and you're wearing your earrings and you fall asleep, I don't know about you, but when I fall asleep with my earrings on, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and like be annoyed that I have them in, and then end up taking them out and putting them on my nightstand. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I wonder if it irritates her to have them in her ears when she's sleeping. That's the only negative thing that I can think of with her having them pierced this early is I need to figure out how long I have to wait before I can take them out, like for nighttime and stuff. Because in the beginning, I think for at least 8 weeks, you have to keep them in around the clock. You can't take them out at all at night. And so, are you coming back? Coming back? Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I think that would be the only downfall. But I'm excited to be able to put different ones in, and they just look so cute on her. So, also, if you are new to my channel, we used to have, okay, wait. Don't pull my hair out. We used to have a nanny, and she helped me 5 days a week. Okay. She helped 5 days a week with the girls, and they would go over to her house so that I could get things done here because the girls would not take... Geeky?
Mama.
You're geeky?
Mama.
The girls would not take me seriously with if they were here, and I couldn't do any editing. I couldn't get any cleaning done because they would just ignore her and, follow me around. So she started taking them to her house. We already have one. We have a geeky. Nope, look, this is the geeky right here. You don't need 2 blankies. We've got one.
No.
I had help around the clock. Okay, all right. Okay. Ouch, my belly. Not around the clock. I just said around the clock, but it basically was because we had her 5 days a week for a few hours every day. And then we had date nights once a month. That was amazing. Okay, thank you. Got it. And then she had her own baby. So she's been gone now for a few weeks, and I don't know how long. I feel like it can't be more than a month. But I feel like I have to be honest about the way that I've been feeling emotionally since she went on her maternity leave. Adeline's piling all the blankets up on me right now. Thank you so much. I was so cold. I was starting to feel a little bit, even though having that help was amazing because I was able to do so many things that I would not have even tried to do before, like just even going to the dentist, going to the chiropractor, doing things for myself that I really needed to do, but that prior to having her, I just would not want to take 2 girls with me to do anything. Even my OB appointments, it's hard to even take one with you. And so now when I take both of them with me to an appointment, the anxiety that I have taking them to all of these appointments with me and trying to get anything done for myself with them, it's like, oh my heart beats out of my chest, and it's really difficult to go on any sort of appointment or do anything that covered. I have 10 blankets on me right now to get things done. And honestly, when they're this age, even getting stuff done around the house as simple as dishes, cooking, and cleaning can be really hard because you have to juggle 2 toddlers. Ouch, Adeline. Ouch, she's biting me really hard right now. And you have to stop whatever task you're doing. You have to stop whatever task you're doing.
Daddy.
That's right, that's Dutchie.
Dada.
Dutchie's looking out the window. I'm afraid my shirt's just gonna pop open.
Dada.
Yep, looking out the window.
Dada.
Okay, go see her. Go see what she's doing.
Door.
Go see what she's doing. Go say, hi, Dutchie, what are you doing?
Don't do it. Do it now.
It's really ironic that I was trying to say you have to stop everything 10 times before you can finish a task, and because that's literally what just happened. It's like that all day long. And of course that's just part of being a mom. It's just part of being a parent. It's just is what it is. But when I went from having that help to not having that help, there were 2 different emotions that I felt. One is I felt really like, it's like, it feels amazing to be with your children all day long around the clock. Adeline. Hey, Adeline. Honey, can you go find some blocks? Can you go find some blocks for me? I want some blocks. I want you to play with some blocks right there. Show me how you do it. Can you make a star? Make a star. Make one for me. Show me. Show me how you make a star.
Sorry.
A star.
Sorry.
Um,
Sorry.
it feels so good to, and it's like super empowering, and you feel like such a super mom to do everything on your own and by yourself, and you're there from when they wake up in the morning to when they go to bed at night, and it's so rewarding and amazing. And I felt whole again, because there started to get to a point where I had so much help that I was starting to feel like it was getting to be a little bit depressing, the amount of like time that I had help. But when you hire a nanny, a lot of times they have like a minimum of hours that they need in order to make the amount of money that they need for the month. And so they'll say like, okay, it's a minimum of these hours, or this is like my monthly minimum rate, and like they can't go below a certain number of hours. So if you decide like down the road, oh, it's like I only need you for a couple hours here and a couple hours there, it's not worth it for them, for their time, to only do a couple hours here and there. It has to be worth it for them too. And so it was just getting to be to the point. Yeah, can you make me a star with the blocks? Show me how you make a star.
Sorry.
A star, show me. That I just was feeling like it was too much time. And so it's been really nice. It's been really nice, but it's also been really hard. It's been really hard because there is no time to yourself other than on the weekends. And like for me, when Nick is home on Saturday and Sunday, like that's the time that I want to spend with the family. Like I don't want to go on appointments on Saturday and Sunday, or do things for myself by myself on Saturday and Sunday, because that's when we spend time together as a family. And I know that like everybody can relate to that. And those of you who work all week long, like the last thing that you want to do on Saturday and Sunday is leave your kids again for an appointment. And so, but you know, that's just the reality of life. I haven't even spoken to her about when she's going to come back, or if she's still feeling like she wants to come back. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But my older daughter is 3, and she just had water went down the wrong pipe. My older daughter's 3, and she is in school now. So right now she's at school, and I only have Adeline. So that's made things a lot easier to just have one for at least half the day. Her teeth are, she's got a lot of her teeth in. She's still working on molars and her bottom canines. Her bottom canines have been really hard. She's been extremely fussy while those come in. And I think these have been the hardest for her so far. What is that cough? She's like, wait. Is that a fake cough? Hey, is that a fake cough? No, 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 don't do that. Can you go find the, go find the big Legos and stack them. For clothes, she's in a size 2T now. Her diapers are still a size 5. And for shoes, she's in a 6. And some shoes that are like really too small, she can even fit into a 7 in shoes. It's just crazy.
Chew.
You put them in your mouth. No, you chew.
Chew.
You chew. Try it. Make your teeth feel better. We switched to a toddler bed about no more than 2 months ago. I feel like it can't be more than 2 months, because that was when she crawled out of her crib. And we found out that she crawled out of her crib because she was knocking on the door saying, out, out. And so with Skyla, we did the same thing. We transitioned the crib to the toddler bed as soon as they could crawl out of the crib. Well, Skyla crawled out of a pack and play, which is lower, but we still transitioned right at the same age. It was right before both of them turned 18 months, I think. And so it's been really helpful because, okay, I'll put it on. She's handing me this little magnet toy. It's been really helpful because we have, hold on, I'm putting this outfit on, see? Okay. Well, we just put this one on. You want to change it already? Okay. Beautiful.
No.
It's been really, this is what I'm talking about. Everything is interrupted. Wow.
No.
Go find me another one. Can you find another outfit? It's been really helpful that we have the cribs that transition to a toddler bed. So when we bought both of the cribs for the girls, we bought the pieces.
Uh-oh.
We bought all the hardware that you need to transition that same crib with the same mattress into a toddler bed. So all you really do is take off the rails and you add like a specific, okay, you add a specific side for where they can get in and out on their own. So Skyla's has 2 open sides and hers only has 1 open side. But if you are in the market for a crib right now, try to buy one that has a conversion kit to a toddler bed. A lot of people have talked about how they've had a really hard time with the transition into a different bed, and I think that if you are transitioning from that small confined crib to a totally new bed, like a full size or whatever you transition to them to, that's got to be a harder transition because it's weird for them. Whenever you're just converting a crib to the toddler setting, it's I feel like for them it's just not that big of a change, and so they don't freak out as much. But you have to make sure that all the furniture is strapped down, everything is baby proofed, all the plugs are in the walls, whatever you're gonna do so that they can't get out of their, I know, so that they can't get out of their room. Like all the drawers and everything are baby proof, because if they wake up, oh, okay. Oh, okay. If they wake up in the middle of the night, you want everything to be completely baby proof so they can't get into anything or get out of their room and rummage around the house. But the transition was actually really, really smooth for us. We didn't have any sleepless nights, thank God. And I know I'm super lucky. Oh, wow. Look at her tail. We're super lucky for that to be the case. But I do think it has a lot to do with the bed. So a couple weeks ago, I would say 2 or 3 weeks ago, Adeline got this spot on her stomach that I originally thought was a bug bite. She had woken up in the morning and I was getting her dressed for the day, and I noticed this little tiny red spot on her belly. And I thought that she had gotten bit by a spider or some sort of bug in her sleep, and I sent a picture to Nick. It was pretty swollen. And I sent a picture to Nick and we were like, okay, we'll watch it and just make sure that it's not, you know, a really bad spider bite or something like that. So we live out in the country, by the way, so there's lots of bugs out here. And then a couple days later, she got one on her back, and I looked closer at it, and it looked more like a dry skin patch, because it was a little bit scaly and had like little tiny little blisters underneath, and it was just a red little patch. It faded way quicker, and when we went in for her 18-month shots, she got her, she had her normal 18-month checkup. Everything was great. She got her vaccines, and then I showed the pediatrician these 2 little patches, and she said it's definitely eczema and to put hydrocortisone cream on it. So then over the weekend, she got another patch on the top of her foot that looked just like the other 2, and this one was the biggest one that she's had to date, and that was the one that kind of sparked me to be like, okay, this is, you know, she's had 3 little patches now. The other 2, the one that was on her belly and the one that was on her back, both of those healed up. The one on her foot is getting better, but it's definitely not healed up. And so I started like looking online at articles about eczema and things that can trigger it, because I felt like, yes, I can put hydrocortisone cream on it, but if there's an underlying reason that she's having these eczema outbreaks, I would rather like fix the issue than just put hydrocortisone cream on it. So people were saying that there's 4 things that trigger their eczema, and it's dairy, sugar, processed foods, and gluten. So we have already decided to take dairy out of her diet as much as we can. I started with just whole milk. I switched over to Ripple, and I've taken cheese away, and we've switched over to almond yogurt, almond-based yogurt instead of dairy yogurt. And the reason that I did was already making that change is because she's had this runny nose for weeks and weeks, and I just cannot get this runny nose to go away no matter what I do. And so that's why we decided to try and remove dairy. So we also just had an ENT appointment, and also it hasn't been that long that she's had no dairy in her diet, so it could take 6 to 8 weeks. So I won't have an update on this for a while. And I know that the eczema could be from anything. It could be from an external factor. We haven't changed detergents or soaps or anything like that, but it could be an external thing. It could be anything, but I would just rather, we were already planning to eliminate dairy anyway, so we're just going to continue with that. So fast forward, we had an ENT appointment. So I made a double appointment for them because Skyla had to have her ears tubes. She already had her ear tubes put in. They needed to do a follow-up and check on hers. Those look great. And then he was going to look at Adeline's ears because she's had chronic ear infections as well. She's had tons and tons of ear infections, much more than what's normal. And once again, that I still think that it could be from some sort of inflammation or something that's going on with her diet, which the girls do eat a lot of processed food and sugar. I'm not a perfect parent. I don't feed them a perfect diet. I don't make perfect, healthy, well-rounded meals for every meal. I just don't, and I'm sure that a lot of that could be my fault because their diet could be better. But they're very picky with what they eat, and sometimes if I go and I cook an elaborate meal with all these veggies and meat, they just like push it to the side and they're like, no, like I don't want that. I want pasta, I want mac and cheese, I want a PBJ. So you end up making this meal that took you 2 hours and then they're not going to eat it anyway. Anyway, I digress. We went to the ENT to talk about possibly getting tubes for Adeline, and I told him about the constant congestion. And he said that she could benefit from tubes and an adenoid removal as well, just like Skyla had. So in the next couple of days, we're going to go ahead and schedule her to have her tubes and adenoids removed as well. So Adeline's sleep schedule, she goes to bed at 8 p.m. Usually it's a little bit later than that. Usually it's in between 8 and 9. But that's when she goes to bed, and when she wakes up is all over the place. When she sleeps in, it could be as late as 8:30, and then when she wakes up early, it could be as early as 7. Doesn't really wake up ever earlier than that, but it's kind of like 7:30 to 8:30. In between there is pretty average for her to wake up in the morning. And I know that's because she does go to bed late. And then for naps with the girls, Skyla naps at 12:30 at school. They do a 12:30 to 2:30 nap. So for Adeline, she's only doing 1 nap a day as well, and I've decided to do her naps now at 12:30. So that on the weekends and stuff, Skyla's already on this new schedule of napping at 12:30. So for Adeline, I just put her down at 12:30 now as well, because Skyla's usually at school for her nap. So I'll put Adeline down here at home at 12:30 too now. And then the last thing that I will talk about is we went to Punta Cana as a family. We went to the Nickelodeon resort, and it was so much fun. The girls had the time of their life. It was absolutely magic. It is a trip that I will remember for the rest of my life, and they had so much fun. You know, with all the stories that came out after we got home from Punta Cana about all the people getting sick in the Dominican Republic, I felt the whole time that we were there, with the exception of the car seat situation in Punta Cana. If you're traveling to Punta Cana, I highly recommend bringing your own car seat. So with the exception of like the airport, like the travel to and from the resort, I felt like everything was extremely safe, like above and beyond safe. I never felt unsafe one time. I always felt like, I just felt like the same way I feel when I'm home. I wasn't worried about our safety at all. And maybe that's just naive. But then we got home and I started seeing a lot of things that have been happening in the Dominican Republic. And then just yesterday I read about someone who was at our resort who got sick. But if you go online and you look at, you know, what are the risks when you're in Punta Cana, they tell you do not drink any of the water. Don't even brush your teeth with the water. And we got sick right when we had gotten back from the trip. We had, me, Adeline, and Skyla all were sick with a stomach bug. But at the same time, there was a stomach virus going around. And so my doctor and their doctor both thought that it was just a stomach bug, and they didn't think anything of it being something in the food or something in our drinks. They didn't think anything like that. They just said to treat it like it was a 24-hour stomach bug. I threw up for, I forgot, 10 to 12 hours, and then I started feeling better, other than my stomach just being my stomach and back from throwing up that long was in intense pain. The girls had it very mild. Skyla threw up one time. Adeline never threw up, but she wasn't feeling well for about a day. Nick never got sick. So, you know, but everywhere, like I said, like everywhere online, it says, don't drink the water, like foodborne illnesses or parasites in the water or something like that. I don't know. Bacteria can cause you to get sick when you are in a different country. But I do kind of feel like that's anywhere. And so I've been asked a lot lately, like, do you think that, would you still go back? Or like, do you think that that it's safe? And I don't know, like, I don't have an answer personally. I don't know what I would do if I had like a trip booked there after all this stuff was coming out. I don't know, because that's like a really, I mean, it's scary. There are a lot of people saying like that they will never go back because of it. So I don't know, but I did want to talk about our experience there and tell you guys that it was absolutely amazing. Even with a baby as young as Adeline, we just had the best time. I almost forgot to tell you guys, I went to, well, Tara and I, my friend Tara Henderson, who's a YouTuber, she just had a baby. Her and I took the girls to Disney by herself. We did a road trip and we did Disney for like 3 days at the park, I think. Just us with a 1.5-year-old, not even 1.5, Adeline wasn't even 1.5 yet, and a 3-year-old, and then a 4-year-old and a almost 2-year-old. So it was very, very hard. I can't say I would recommend doing it. Dudgy. I can't say that I would recommend doing it because it's a lot of work. And unless you're an intense Disney fan, you might just be dying the whole time, like wondering, like, why the heck are you paying all this money and going through all of this when, you know, you should be enjoying yourself. And it's really hard sometimes to enjoy yourself when you've got 2 kids to deal with on your own with no help. Like I said, I just can't say I would recommend it, but we did still have a really good time, and seeing the magic in the girls' eyes was worth it. But it's very hard, and it would have been very hard even if we just had one. Well, it would have been easier. Like if we just took the older girls, if we just took Skyla and Bailey, it would have been a lot easier, but we weren't going to do that. So that's a whole other thing. You know, a lot of people have asked me to do videos on traveling with toddlers and babies and all my tips, because we do travel a lot. And then anytime I put a poll up, like on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, that one always gets the least amount of votes. So I can't ever tell if it's something that you guys actually want to see or like nobody would be interested in. So I guess let me know. My comments are still off, as you can see, so I've been posting, well, I've only done it once, but I'm like posting the thumbnail in the community tab on my channel. So you can head over there after you watch the video to leave your comments underneath the thumbnail, or you can find me on Instagram or Twitter. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed Adeline's 18-month update, even though she wasn't in the frame very much. That's just kind of is what it is. Maybe next time I'll sit on the floor and do it, but next time I'm here with her, she'll be 2, which is just crazy and hard to believe. It seriously goes by in the blink of an eye. But I will see you guys in my next video, which is going to be a pregnancy update. It's going to be my 7-month pregnancy update, which means that there's only 3 pregnancy updates left until Reese is here with us. Bye, guys.